Let's do it. Greetings, Divine Radiance. How are you today? Welcome to Wednesday Live and Power Hour with me, Nahkila Isha of AshworthScott Life Sculpting. I'm a divine interpreter, psychic life coach, and mentor, assisting you with activating the divinity and wisdom within your soul so that you are empowered to create and live an abundant life. So, guys, notice I am still in gym clothes. And I'm outside today. I had an amazing workout today. I did my walk outside, and then I went to the gym, and then I did the sauna, and then I had something to eat. And I was like, you know what? There's no time for a shower before Empower Hour. We're all about because you are. So today, y'all got me fresh out the gym, dried sweat and all. So welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Mimi. Hi, Nell. How are you? How are you? So Cheryl, I saw your high first. You were the first person on, so you will get the single card pull. Now, if you all are joining us over on Facebook, please come over and join us on YouTube. You can look for AshworthScott Life Sculpting, and you will find us here on YouTube because this is where we will be participating in the live chat. And also, I will be doing the $20 mini readings at the end of our general message. And today when I was driving, Spirit was telling me to begin doing a 3-card pull for our general, right? Because our Empower Hours, they tend to go really, really long. And Spirit said, do a 3-card pull and then go into the reading. So that's what we're going to start doing. Yes, 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 you are. You are. So let's go ahead and see which deck, that one. Okay. So for those of you that are joining for the first time, we do this every week at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm always really excited to have you join. So Cheryl, you got the creation card in reverse. And I'm just going to go ahead and turn this right side up. So what I'm being told to tell you is time for you to begin creating your world and your destiny. It's time for you to be more mindful about what you're choosing and allow yourself to have the beautiful things that your soul desires, that your heart desires. You are deserving and worthy. It's time for you to get out of your comfort zone. It's time for you to get moving, not just physically, but towards your dreams and your goals. What are you dreaming of these days? They're saying as in efforts and effects, right? So efforts, like efforts that you put in life and how it will affect your life. You know, not necessarily your dreams and sleep time, but what are your dreams? What would you love to do right now in this current time? It's time for you to begin co-creating and pursuing that fearlessly and without abandon. Don't stop, keep going. And then I hear, don't stop, get it, get it. And I asked, was there anything else for you, Cheryl? And they said, no, tell you, you've got this. So you've got this. So it's about you reflecting on your dreams. You know, what would make you happy? If you could create your ideal life, what would that look like? It's time for you to begin putting yourself in that energy of creating, co-creating with Spirit, right? And also I'm being told to tell you to write your goals down, write your dreams down, right? Write them on paper. Use blue or purple ink. It carries the highest vibrational frequency. So yeah, so that is your message, Cheryl. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Alata, how are you? How are you? So I was just explaining, y'all got me straight after the gym, no shower yet. So I'm outside doing this. Partially because it's not really hot here, but then also, you know, I when I'm sweating, I am dripping. So I'd rather sit on my outside couch all sweaty than my inside couch. So let's see what y'all are saying. Hi, Carter Chronicles. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here, Barbara. Yes. Hi. It took me a minute because you changed your name. You guys, if you haven't subscribed to Carter Chronicles, go ahead and do so. Go ahead and do so. Cheryl said that message was absolutely perfect. Awesome. I'm so grateful. So grateful. So let's go ahead. You're so welcome, Cheryl. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. Thank you. So let's go ahead and get into our breathing, you guys. Let's go ahead and release and get grounded really quick and just let the energy flow through us. Hi, Phoenix. Hi, Charmaine. Thank you for posting that in the group, Charmaine. I haven't had an opportunity to respond. Most likely I'll do a video. So yeah, most likely I'll do a video. So, okay, let's go ahead and Close our eyes unless you're driving, taking those slow, deep breaths, inhaling that leaven light through your nose as slow and deep as possible, and then releasing all that's not serving you out through your nose. If there's something specific that you're choosing to release, then go ahead and focus on that with your exhale. And while you're breathing, I'll be sending Reiki to your heart chakra and your solar plexus, okay? Hey, Rio, welcome, welcome. So go ahead, slow and deep, breathe in leaven light through your nose. And then release, exhaling out through your mouth, releasing all that's not serving you. And as you continue to breathe in leaven light and continue to release all that's not serving you, I call on highest light guides, angels, ancestors, healers, teachers, wise ones, ascended masters, and helpful companions. I call on you now to fill this space. I thank you for using me as a vessel to deliver a message that is rooted in highest light, love, and truth. I thank you for opening the hearts, the minds, and the souls of those I'm called to serve today so that they may receive whatever serves their highest good. I thank you, and so it is. So just go ahead and continue with your breathing, breathing in that love and light, and just allowing yourself to feel relaxed, relaxing your shoulders. And as you're exhaling and releasing all that's no longer serving you, I'd like you to bring your attention to your crown chakra located at the top of your head. Giving your crown chakra permission to open. Opening your crown chakra now. And just allow yourself to feel that warm, loving, divine light pouring in through your crown. And feel it as it travels down to your third eye. Extending out to your ear chakras. Feel it as it travels down to your throat, down to your heart chakra, down to your solar plexus and your sacral, down to your root, and feel that loving energy as it travels down your thighs, down into your knees, your legs, your ankles, and your feet. And just notice that tingling sensation in your feet. Feel as your feet start to grow roots at the soles, and just allow those roots to go through whatever surface your feet are resting on, feeling as those roots penetrate Mother Earth, traveling down to her core, and just stopping and taking a moment to send Mother Earth gratitude, love, light, and healing. As you connect to Mother Earth's heartbeat, feeling her energy coming up through those roots, traveling up through the soles of your feet, feeling her loving energy traveling up to your ankles, your legs, your knees, feeling it up in your thighs, your root, your sacral, your solar plexus, feeling Mother Earth's energy traveling up to your heart chakra, your throat, your ears, and your third eye, and feeling it travel up and out your crown. And just allow Mother Earth's energy to travel all the way to the cosmos, connecting with your highest source of love, light, and power. Allowing the two energies to intertwine, creating a beautiful dance. And then bring that energy back down through your crown and just feel it as it travels throughout your entire cellular being, loosening and releasing all that's no longer serving you. With every exhale, continuing to release, and every inhale, continuing to breathe in love and light. Feeling more relaxed, more at peace, more confident, and more ready to take on whatever is placed in your path. With gratitude, love, and light, and so it is. So when you're ready, just go ahead and open your eyes and tell me how you're feeling. Boy, when I open my eyes after having them closed, being outside, it's like, woo, it's bright. Oh, and you guys, you know what? I saw a snake on my walk today. It was so amazing. So amazing. So amazing. So I'm going to read to you while I wait to see how you all are feeling. I'm going to read to you what the snake symbolizes. And it was really, really a nice little treat, because when I'm on my walk, I get all kinds of messages from spirit in different ways, right? So the snake symbolizes fertility and rebirth. Historically, serpents and snakes represent fertility or creative life force. As snakes shed their skin through sloughing, they are symbols of rebirth, transformation, immortality, and healing. The Ouroboros is a symbol of eternity and continual renewal of life. So that was pretty amazing. And the snake happens to be my Chinese zodiac. So I felt really connected, stopped and recorded him and chatted with him for a little bit. It was pretty cool. Let's see. Cheryl said, I hope you all are doing well. Hi, Alice. Welcome. Alice said hello, just in time for the meditation. Awesome. Hi, Charmaine. Welcome, welcome. Cheryl said, don't forget, thank you, Shanae's general reading. Thank you so much. So Shanae will be first for the general reading from last week. Hi, Phyllis. Welcome, welcome. So, you know, before I pull cards, I have a message I'd like to share with you. When I was in the car coming upstairs after my workout and everything, I was sitting there and Spirit told me to talk to you about just being still, right? Now, not in the way we've been talking about being still, like in a meditative way, right? But it's more or less when we're in creation mode, right? Oftentimes we'll set the intention and we talk about setting it and forgetting it, and we'll set it and we'll forget it in that moment, but then we're constantly resetting, right? And Spirit was saying, just learn how to release the thoughts of what you're creating, right? Your creation, what you're choosing to create, what you're desiring to create is taking up space in your mind. And so what it's doing is it's having an opposite effect, because it's creating busy. It's creating chaos, right? Even if it's something positive, anything that's done in excess creates a feeling of chaos. So it's taking away or it's depleting you of your peace. So what Spirit was telling me to share with you is when we speak in terms of setting it and forgetting it, right? Now your setting it process can be a ritual, right? Where you're all in, taking a sacred bath, you're burning your candles, you're connecting to your ancestors, your guides, your angels, right? Your spirit team of highest light and love, and you go all in with a ceremony or a ritual. But once you're done, let it go, right? Let it go. Spirit is saying that we are being called to trust and understand that when we set the intention, right? The intention has been set. Now it's just a matter of waiting in faith, right? Waiting in faith. And if we're constantly replaying the thought, constantly reinforcing what we're choosing to create, that shows up as a form of lack, right? Oh, wait, it's not here yet. So let me keep going. Let me keep doing it. You plant the seed. When you plant the seed to grow a plant, you don't keep planting seeds for that one plant to grow, right? And it's the same thing. So Spirit was saying to talk about being still, right? Being still and allowing Spirit and your divine team to actually work for you, right? To work for you. So, and how many of you are doing that? You know, when you set an intention to create, you find yourself resetting the intention, right? Continuously setting the intention, or notice how much it's occupying your mind, right? How many of you notice that? Or do you set it and you truly just forget it and wait without bringing it up again? If you do that, let me know. Let me know. So Cheryl said, I went to a pet shop years ago and had a snake wrapped around me. She was a sweetheart. Awesome. Awesome. Yes, yes, yes. So, okay, which deck first? All right. So we're going to go ahead and, did you guys see that? That one was like, we coming out with this. Oh, okay. They're jumping today, boy. Okay. Oh, look at that. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you, we have creation as our final card. So that's pretty awesome because, Cheryl, that was your card. Now, these first two cards we got came in reverse. So we have focus. That's such a beautiful card. Such a beautiful card. I've been seeing a ton of butterflies lately, too. It says focus, and we just going to turn it right side up because we're taking ourselves out of that energy of, you know, reverse, and we have new moon beginnings. And you know, the beautiful thing is we are right now in the energy of the new moon. And I'm so grateful that Spirit brought this up, because as I was talking to you, Spirit was saying, as we're talking about those rituals for manifesting, right now in this new moon in Leo, it's a really great time for us to begin shedding skin that doesn't serve us, like that snake, right? Shedding the skin of the things that don't serve us. It's also a great time for intention setting, right? And to begin practicing what we just received, which is to set the intention, have the faith, release it, and allow Spirit to guide us into how to bring it into our now, right? Because it is a collaborative effort between us setting the intention, us having the faith, right? Us surrendering, right? Us releasing attachment to the outcome, knowing we're worthy to receive it, and then trusting in the guidance that we receive from Spirit, and then taking action, right? That's it. That formula is simple, right? It's simple. That's all we're called to do. So, and then of course we have creation. So what I'm being told to tell you is it's time for you to begin focusing on this new beginning that's ahead of you, right? Oftentimes we spend so much time focused on the past. We spend so much time focusing on what's behind us, so much time focused on how this person hurt us or that situation didn't turn out great, right? And we're waiting for that, not just the shoe to drop, but the bomb to drop, right? And by doing this, we're creating all these blocks and obstacles for ourselves, and we're actually making this journey tougher or harder than it has to be, right? And Spirit is telling us right now what we're being called to do is really focus on the energy of newness. We are in an energy of newness, right? It's like we've been experiencing the storm, and Spirit is saying the storm can be over, right? It can be over if you choose to stop focusing on the storm and focus on the new beginning. So what's coming through is almost like we're doing a rain dance, right? When we're focused on the past hurt, the past mishaps, the past lessons, right? We're in the process of doing a rain dance, which is calling more rain to fall. Spirit is like, enough rain has fallen, and now it's time for things to be birthed, for things to take form, for things to pierce through the earth, right? I'm being told to tell you it's also time for you to really be intentional about what you're choosing for your life. When was the last time you sat down, right? Took some time to meditate, got out a piece of paper, and really thought about your life, right? Really thought about your life and what you're choosing for yourself. Now, if you did it last year, it's time to do it again, because you're forever evolving, you're forever shifting. So what was resonating with you last year may or may not resonate this year, because we're forever growing. So Spirit is saying really taking a time out to get in touch with who you are as a soul today, right? Who you've evolved into and what resonates with you today, right? What resonates with you today. How are you feeling about your life in general? How are you feeling about your life as a whole, right? So let's see what you're saying. Cheryl said, those are some pretty cards. Yes, this deck is actually really beautiful. It's the Queen of the Moon Oracle. It's the Queen of the Moon Oracle. And although we're moving into doing the 3-card pull, Spirit is saying to pull a few more. So we're going to pull a few more today as well. Hey, Mom. My mom was working out with me, too. I dropped her off before I came home. She's right across the parking lot. Awesome. I'm so grateful. So grateful. So what I'm being told to tell you is it's time for you to step your game up, but it's time for you to step your game up for no one else but you, right? No one else but you. Why is self-sabotage still present, right? Now, we may not be self-sabotaging our entire lives, right? But when Spirit is guiding us and we ignore the guidance, or we doubt the guidance, right? Or we focus on the past in a way that brings grief or disconnect, what we're doing is we're self-sabotaging, right? Spirit is saying for most of us, we're out of that energy where it's like that apparent, this is self-sabotage. It's more subtle, right? It's ignoring the promptings that we're receiving, and we ignore them, and we allow ourselves, or we give ourselves permission to ignore them by stating things like, I don't know. Is this me or is it spirit? So I'm not sure. I'm just not going to do it. Right. But when you really get real with yourself, you're at a point where you know the difference, right? You know the difference. When you receive from spirit I don't know, it's a different feeling, right? If you remember, spirit was saying, feel your own energy so you can realize when there's something foreign or something that's not yours coming in, right? So by you learning your own energy and what it feels like, you're able to discern, is this my fear or is this a warning, right? Am I hesitant because I'm feeling afraid, or am I hesitant because spirit is redirecting me, right? So if you haven't been doing that exercise where you allow yourself to feel your own energy, taking those slow, deep breaths and really just feeling what your energy feels like. Does it feel calm? Does it feel peaceful? Does it feel rushed? Does it feel chaotic, right? What does your energy feel like? And then after you take those breaths to feel your own energy, then start to feel the energy outside of you, right? Just start to feel it. So first feel yours, that inner energy, and then expand from inside to outside, right? Start like this close. What does that feel like? And then expand until you're actually just feeling the collective, right? Start practicing that, because it's so important for you to know the difference so that you are able to trust in the messages, the guidance that you receive from spirit even more, right? Without doubt. This whole thing with getting up and moving and getting up with dancing and dancing just keeps coming up. Spirit said it's also time for you to get up and move. It's time for you to get up and dance, right? It's time for you to allow your mind and body to become one, right? Allow your mind and body to become one. Now, when Spirit first said that, I'm like, okay, Spirit, well, what message are you giving us with that? And what Spirit is saying is, oftentimes we will have this thought or we'll have this idea, right? We'll have this desire or this craving to create certain shifts or certain things in our lives, and we'll speak about it because it's here. But when it comes to connecting the thought with the physical, right? We don't always do it. And this isn't just pertaining to, like, for years I used to be like, I'm about to start working out. I'm feeling like working out. And my process to get there, it was like, this was a part of it. I took months to talk about it, think about it, feel like it before I actually did, right? And so Spirit is saying it's not just in relation to that, but it's also in relation to, I'm choosing to vibrate higher, right? So you have the desire here. I'm choosing to vibrate higher. I know if I'm vibrating higher, my life will be forever changed. I know if I'm vibrating higher, it becomes easier to live in this dimension. It becomes easier to create. It becomes easier to receive, right? It becomes easier to attract, right? But then when it comes to putting that one foot in front of the other and taking the steps, sometimes there's a disconnect. And that's a form of self-sabotage. So Spirit is saying it's time for your mind and your body to align. Your heart must be uplifted and free of pain, right? Free of pain. So how do you uplift your heart? How do you free yourself from the pain? You heal. You heal, because if you don't heal, it's like, Spirit is just saying it's like carrying a weight around, right? It's like carrying a weight around. It doesn't matter how long ago it was when you picked that weight up, right? You could have picked that weight up 20 years ago. But if you're carrying that weight, it's just as heavy, if not heavier, than when you first picked it up, right? Because now you're tearing yourself down, whereas your muscles were strong at first. Now they went to being really conditioned to now they're breaking down, right? So it feels even heavier. So Spirit is saying it's time to put the weight down. It's time to release it, right? It's time to heal it. You don't know how fast you can run until you put that heavy weight down that's not serving a purpose, right? And the weight's not on something that's going to build your body up. The weight's sitting on your head, breaking your neck down, right? Okay, so let's see what y'all are saying. Hey, Anitra, how are you? Hey, Shamika, how are you? Hey, TK, welcome, welcome. And you know what? our sister Pat has actually been on my heart and on my mind, and I was planning to reach out to her today. And I don't even know if Pat is on, but can we all just send Pat some love and some energy, and send some energy to her father as he transitions? Just send that love and that light and that energy to Pat, that peace and that support for our sister Pat. If we can all do that, that would be amazing, amazing. Okay, so I'm being told to pull from the Work Your Light deck. Can you see that? This outside light is... What message she have for Spirit? Oh, okay. Spirit said you're going to pull 3 from this one too. The bottom or top. Ah, that card. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So we have break the chain. Break the chain. And it says ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. Now remember, Spirit just said, getting our creative, and look at that scroll, right? Getting our creative space. And then we have, you're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north, right? Spirit just told us to stop taking so much time dwelling on what we're creating. Set it, forget it, right? And then we have take a break. Take a break. And it says a life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. Okay, so this is really powerful, really, really powerful. So break the chain. A lot of messages have been coming up for us lately about shifting, right? Shifting everything within us, right? And it starts with shifting, breaking the patterns that we have been taught all of our lives, right? And what Spirit is saying, it's really, again, about us considering the source, right? It really is. It's like this has come up for us before, but how do you take away the power from the people? You make them believe they have none, right? So all of our lives, we've been taught to be dependent on one thing or another, right? We've been taught not to think for ourselves, right? We've been taught what we're to look like to be acceptable, what we're to feel like, right? What we're to sound like, right? What we're to be like, how we're to live, right? And all of these teachings are pulling us further and further away from our divine selves. It's pulling us further and further away from our connection to the divine, right? It's pulling us further and further away from our power, right? This is the weight we're carrying. But now Spirit is saying, put that weight down. We can't blame anyone else, right, for where we are right now today. Because there's too much information, there's too much knowledge, there's too much truth being presented in today's time for us to still be in this bubble of trauma and blame it on whatever, right? Right? Also, what Spirit is saying is that as we're healing, right, breaking those ancestral curses, you know, that saying that says basically, I am my ancestors' dreams, right? Their dreams realized, their dreams come true. Well, Spirit is saying, if you're watching this today, you have a calling over your life. If you're watching this, whether we hear today, right now, live, or it's the replay, you have a calling over your life. And that calling may feel small, but it's huge, right? It's huge. We think about a puzzle. You can have that whole puzzle put together. Everybody's contributed their part. But if you don't contribute yours, it could be a little tiny puzzle piece at the corner of the puzzle, but it's not complete, right? So it's time for you to understand that you are chosen. You are divine, right? It's time for you to just do what makes you feel good. Do what brings you joy. Don't do what brings the most money in. Nope. You'll be miserable. And then what's going to happen? Your vibration's lower. You're not enjoying life. You're blocking yourself from creating, right? Now, when you have that faith and you go based on what your passion is, then everything that you can think of here, you can create out here, right? But we've been taught the opposite. Oh, it's about getting the best education, getting the best paying job, right? Having a title, right? All of those things are false, right? We've been taught to put our power into falsehoods because the more power that's over there, the less power that's here, right? So break the chain. It's time. It's time to awaken. It's time to feel that power within. That's the other thing. If you do that, fill in your energy, right? Let your guides know, I'm choosing to feel my power. Let me know what that feels like. Take some slow, deep breaths, put your hand on your solar plexus and let me pull it down and let you know. For those of you that may not know, let me move my water. Put your hand on your solar plexus, right? And just allow yourself to feel your power, connect to your power, right? So see what it feels like because it's there. Remember when Spirit gave us the message, was it yesterday on the walk? Monday, about us igniting that fire within, right? The power is there. It's just Spirit's waiting on you to spark that match, right? So feel it, connect to it. Let's see what y'all are saying. Hi, Tasha. How are you? Welcome. Hi, Angel. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. So yes. Okay, so we have you're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. So Spirit is really reiterating this, right? So also, let me just show you this really quick before we go here. So we have focus, break the chain. Focus on breaking the chain, right? Focus on being that change that you're seeking, right? Focus, right? Focus, that goes hand in hand. And then beginnings, you're already doing it. You're already in the midst of creating a new beginning. You're already in that energy. So Spirit is just saying, just get out of the way, right? Just get out of the way. Get out of the way. Release doubt. That's in the way. Release fear. That's in the way. Release self-sabotage. That's in the way. Release sadness. That's in the way. Release anger. It's in the way. Why would you spend a minute being angry at someone that has no power over your current existence, right? Sometimes it may feel like they do, but that's only because we're giving them that power. You are your sole source of power, right? Release it. There is no one that is worth your peace, no matter who they are. There is no one that is worth your peace. No one. No one. And you have a choice. You can release it just like that. You can choose to let it go, right? What's more important, my peace, my happiness, or being right? My peace, my happiness, or proving a point, right? So you're already doing it. What message do you have for us there? Spirit is saying once you set that intention and you forget it, when you are able to set it and forget it, what you're saying is it is already mine, right? It is already mine. I find myself at times when I think about something and I start to question and I start to doubt, you know what I say? Cancel, delete that. It is already mine. Now, if there's others involved, they may not know it yet, but it is already mine, right? It is already mine. Spirit has already said that I am worthy and deserving of whatever I seek or choose that serves my highest good. So if these are facts, if this is 100, right, it is already mine. So why am I going to prolong the process by doubting, right? Why am I going to prolong the process by continuously checking, right? I'm just going to let it go, release it, do what I'm guided to do, and trust and know it's already mine. And it's just making its way into this realm and this now, right? Also, what I'm being told to tell you is to soften your energy, right? Soften your energy. Some of us, we hold this hard energy, this hardened energy, right? The world has created or experiences have created. And Spirit is saying your strength comes from your love. Being vulnerable and open doesn't make you weak. It makes you strong, right? It makes you, oh, look, there's a bug crawling on the laptop. It makes you strong, right? It doesn't make you weak. So it's time for us to also revisit what we view as strength, right? There's just so many things. Right now, we're being called to pay attention. Pay attention to ourselves. That bug is like right there where I'm looking at you guys. And so it's like, let me make a move because he's distracting. Okay, go fly. So anyways, bring it back. I feel like I can go to sleep. I'm not going to do that too long. I'm about to fall asleep on y'all, okay? We're not going to rest and receive too long. Okay, so Spirit, bring it back. Thank you. So yes, so Spirit is just saying your power comes from your love, right? Your power comes from your love. And think, like, look at these colors, right? The colors here, that pink, that soft turquoise. Like when you notice my voice, when I look at those colors, I feel, Oh, pink, turquoise. You know, even this, right? Even this, but more of this shade turquoise. Allow yourself, when you're in that meditative state and you're choosing to connect to your love, you're choosing to connect to your softness, you're choosing to connect to your vulnerability. See yourself surrounded by these colors, that pink and that turquoise, and just allow yourself to feel the frequency, right, of those colors and its energy, and allow yourself to absorb it, right? And then pay attention to your heart chakra. And as you're feeling the energy of those colors entering into your heart chakra, setting the intention that wherever there's hardness, and the way I'm feeling it is like a gray rock, right? Wherever there's hardness, allow those colors to come in and gently massage the hardness away, right? You don't have to blow it out the water. You don't got to crumble it up, right? It can be soft and gentle. What we're being called to do is to tap into our love energy, recognizing that that is our power, that is our strength. Why do you think the world is designed for us to hate ourselves, right? When we hate ourselves, we hate others. When we can't love us, we can't love others, right? And as long as there is hate, there's no power. There's no power, right? The puppet master is the one with the power, but it's really a false sense of power. This whole time, you're not really on a string. Your mind's just being controlled, and you feel like you're on a string. As soon as you take your power back and you tap into your love, you look up and you realize, I'm in control of me. I'm tired of being controlled. It's time for me to control my destiny. It's time for me to control my reality, my life, right? So let's see what you're saying. And Jill said, you're talking to me. My mama always telling me to soften my heart. I'm trying. Well, you know what? Cancel, delete, trying. Because whenever we say I'm trying, I try, I'm going to try, the unconscious mind hears don't do it, right? You're choosing it. You're choosing to, right? It's a choice. We don't have to be one way or another. We get to choose how we are. And maybe in the past, it wasn't easy, but today you can claim it with ease and grace, right? It's so true. If I can look at a person, right? A person that, and today's message, I don't know how many of you watch the messages I record at the top of the hill from my walk, but today's message, you know, I sat there, I'm like, Spirit, what are we talking about today? Because I really don't know. I don't know what we're talking about. I just know the Spirit's been telling me lately, when you're at the top on your last gold round, deliver a message. Sweaty lump of light, deliver your message. I'm like, okay, but what we talking about? The Spirit said, don't be petty. Okay, right? Okay. So here's the thing. If I have someone that's in front of me and they're just being nasty, right? Like I moved to Tennessee a year ago this week. And yeah, you see a lot of people with Trump 2020 on their license or their bumper. And I'll just kind of wait and stop because I'd like to see who you are. I'm not judging. That's your opinion. Bless your heart. But I like to know where we stand, right? So anyways, if I have someone that is being nasty and just mean and just, you know, does it serve me to meet them where they are? Or does it serve me to stay in my energy and give them the choice to meet me where I am, right? It doesn't serve me to go to their level and absorb all of that hate, all of that anger, right? It just doesn't. Because now we both sit around anger, waddling in it, right? So we get to choose how we react. We get to choose how we feel, right? And experiences alone, yes, they affect us, but we get to choose to not stay in that energy of what our traumas and our pains created, right? We get to choose. There's too many resources available to us now to heal because we deserve to enjoy this life, right? Yes, we know many of us are going to incarnate again, and many of us are going to have many more lifetimes. But right now, Spirit said, focus on the now. This is the only life that we have, right? And while we're here, Spirit is saying it's time for us to enjoy it, right? It's time for us to enjoy it. What does your inner child love? What is your inner child like doing? On Monday after the walk, my mom and I took our socks and shoes off and we got in the creek and we just sat in the creek and just enjoyed that, right? There was a time I never would have done that. And it's so funny because I've shared with you all how when I got married to my second husband, we decided, oh, we're going to just have a little romantic date and we're going to go out to where we got married, put a blanket out, look at the stars, right? And so we did that and the sprinklers came on. And I looked, that was in like 2017, so it hasn't been long, right? And was it 16 or 17? One of the two, 16 or 17. And the sprinklers came on. So I was such a germaphobe at the time that I got so wet because I would not step off of the blanket into the grass, right? Into the grass. Now, it's like my thing, you know? So it was just so funny. And as I'm saying that, what Spirit is saying is we have so many hangups, right? So many hangups that are preventing us from benefiting from all that's offered to us by the divine, right? For me, that was grounding, right? But then also we're getting wet, right? We're getting rained on. We're getting, we're getting blocked. There's so many things that we are receiving that don't serve us just because we're caught up in our hangups, right? And where did I get that from? It was taught to me to be that way, right? It was taught to me. Oh, no, don't walk on the ground. Don't walk, oh, no, don't touch this. Don't do that, right? What would happen if, as parents, now my children are older. My oldest will be 24 in November. My youngest will be 17 in February. So they're older, right? But those of you that have children that are still young, or those of you that are becoming parents, what would happen if instead of us choosing to mold our children into being a certain way, if we just observe, okay, we'll get to why that came through, observe our children and gave them permission to be who they are, right? To be who they are. Now, when my boys were younger, I used to have this thing, that mom knows best, right? And if I said something, my oldest particularly, so I seen, and if he didn't do it, I was always nagging, pushing my agenda. When I healed, I realized he has his own journey. He has his own life, right? And so I can give him what I know and then release it and allow him to make his own decisions, right? Now, I've always been pretty open with allowing the boys to be themselves, and allowing them to explore who they're choosing to be. But even in that energy, there was still parts of me that was pushing what I'd like for them on them. And that just creates friction. So, of course, we're here to teach our children. We're here to teach them how to walk. We're here to teach them how to talk. We're here to teach them how to go potty, right? We're here to teach them how to eat. But what we're not here to do is teach them who to be. And that's where we sometimes get the wires crossed. We're teaching them who to be. Spirit is saying, let that go. We also do it with our significant others, right? We do it with our friends. We would like them to fit into a mold of what we feel perfection is, right? So the question is, if whomever you're with, whether it's a significant other or friend, if they were to remain exactly how they are for the rest of their life and yours, could you be happy without them changing a single thing? And this was a topic I recorded yesterday for next week's tips and tools, right? If the answer is no, if you cannot accept them 100% as they are, then you are with the wrong person. You are in the wrong friendship. It is time to release that. Now, if they can be exactly who they are without changing a single thing, even a hair on their head, then great, right? It's not up to us to decide who someone gets to be, to fit into our lives, right? We're called to do us, allow them to do them. If it's a match, great. If it's not, that's fine too. That match is there. Spirit is telling us to stop forcing things, stop pushing things, stop attempting to make something fit that doesn't. Where does that come from? Lack, fear of being alone, fear of being judged, fear of never finding anyone, right? And whatever else goes through our minds when we're in that space, right? Spirit is telling us to live and let live. Release it. Release it. We've been carrying so much heavy weight. It's time to release it, right? It's time to release it. Let's see what you're saying. I hear a heavy ringing right now, like really loud. What are you attempting to tell me, Spirit? What's going on with that? That is annoying. Cheryl said, me and you both, Nahkila, because I could use a little nap. Yes, when I sat there to connect, I was like, okay, I'm a little too comfortable. I'm really not even waiting for a message right now. I'm just like resting. So let me snap out of that. Let's see. Angel said, I'm choosing to break through the pain of my past. Yes, and so it is. And so it is. And so it is. Angel said, I'm glad I came to sit in on the spirit. On this spirit is helping me break through and heal. Awesome. I'm glad you're here. Hey, Pat, you weren't on, but we all sent you some love, some light, some healing, some peace, and some strength. So I'm glad you're here. Yes, you came in right on time, right on time. And if you feel led to watch it from the beginning, please do. Pat said, I get to choose how I show up, and I choose to show up differently. Yes. Tasha said, same. I needed this message. But cancel delete need. It just serves your highest good to receive it. Because remember, when we say need, the universe responds giving us more need. We're forever in that state of need, right? Same with want. We're forever in that state of want. So it serves your highest good, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Let me see really quick. I'm going to peek over on Facebook, see if there's anybody on. Oh, Angel was on, and now she's with us on YouTube. So awesome. So let's see. Anitra says, sending you highest love, light, and peace, Pat. Yes, and so it is. And Jill said, blessings on your journey, Tasha. May the rest of your day be beautiful as you are, and so it is. Okay, Cheryl said, it's not an accident you're on this live stream, Angel. Not at all. Pat said, greetings, Anitra. Thank you, sis. And Jill said, yes, ma'am, you're right. My oldest is so special. He's guided by his own spirit guides. I don't fight his flow no more. Once I learned to expect him and his beautiful flow of energy. Yes. And, and here's the thing. As we are allowing our children to just be them, we can learn from them because they are so connected to spirit. We have been systematically taught how to extinguish that divine spark within our children. Every way that we've been taught to parent is serving that purpose, right? But in reality, our children are here as blessings, right? I remember when I was with my oldest son's dad, right? I met him when I was 17. And although I had a relationship before that, I would say he was my first deep love, right? And I remember when Asim was born, at the time, I couldn't walk away for myself, but I was able to walk away from my son. There were times when I didn't have the strength or the power within. I hadn't tapped into it to do it for me. But my son was my saving grace because I was more dedicated to making sure he had a healthy, happy life than I was to that for myself, right? So he came as a blessing for me, right? And so oftentimes our children, they're here, we're blessed with them. That's why children are a blessing, right? Now, anybody that's a parent, I know I've been like, okay, what part of this is a blessing? Because I don't know. Does it come when they're grown? Does it come when I'm a grandparent? Because spirit, I'm confused. This feels like work, right? It feels like straight work. That's how I've been like that a bunch of times. But the blessing is what we're called to learn from our children, right? Even with my teenager, with Samaj, when we were talking that time and he said, why do I have to be the only one that has to change, right? And I went into defensive mommy mode and spirit checked me and was like, he's right. You got some changing to do too. Oh, do I now? Okay, let me go apologize and change, and then I did. And from that change, there were many blessings that came from it, but I learned that from him. And all his little smart mouth disrespect, for way of saying it, there was still a blessing there. So if we get into that energy of, I am blessed with this child. This child is here to teach me how to reconnect with my divinity within, as opposed to pouring water on their divine flame. Things will be so much more amazing. Even with babies with their soft spots, those crown chakras are open. Why do babies see spirits, right? Why are they're closer connected, right? Because they just got here. They haven't been tainted. So we can start why does that keep coming through? Absorbing. Why do you keep, why? Tell me, what's that? Spirit just says time to absorb the energy of flow, right? And specifically as it relates to children. Just think about a child, an innocent child, before anyone has has tainted them from a traumatic way, right? So let's think of a child who doesn't really watch much TV. They haven't gotten to that point yet. They haven't started school. And just think about how they are. They're fearless, right? They're loving. It doesn't matter what you do, what you say. You can yell at a child, they can start crying, but guess what? They're hugging you, kissing you, ready to love you a second later, right? They don't hold grudges, right? They may not understand why you're being mean, but it doesn't affect their energy. They go right back into being that loving child, right? There's so much we can learn. They're fearless, right? They're learning to walk. They fall a bunch of times. They don't say, well, this isn't for me. Let me just sit my happy ass down and not get back up. That's us grown people that do that. The babies are like, I got this. And they're excited while they're doing it, right? They're not thinking about failing, right? So Spirit is telling us to start absorbing the energy from those children. And if we don't have little ones, we'll be around some, right? There's little ones all over that would love to have a mentor or someone step in and love on them that they can bless, right? That the little ones can bless. So yeah, there's a lot for us to learn. Let's see what y'all are saying. Pat said, yes, Nahkila, my son has been helping me get out of that thinking. He is showing me that the old way of parenting doesn't work right now. Yes, and it doesn't. It doesn't. And the more that we allow our children to flow in their own energy, the more they absorb what we're teaching them, right? What we're teaching them. Because don't get me wrong, there are things that we teach them, right? There are things that we teach them, but we've been teaching them some things that Spirit is telling us ourselves to release, right? Spirit's like, you guys got it twisted, but that's only because you do what you know. And when you know better, you do better. And Spirit is calling for us to know better. So now let's take it a step further. Whether we have children that we birthed or we've taken care of or not, we all have an inner child, right? We all have an inner child. So Spirit is calling you to reconnect with yourself when you were in that innocent, childlike state, before you were tainted by trauma or tainted by experience or tainted by someone else's opinions of you or of the world or of life, right? And to reconnect to that part of yourself and learn from that part of yourself, nurture that part of yourself, grow that part of yourself, and then merge with that part of yourself, right? You guys hear me say all the time, oh, me and my inner child, I'm so connected. But in reality, my inner child and I, we're like side by side. My inner child, little Nahkila, is always here. We're one. We're one. It is what it is. We have completely merged. Okay? I have fun all the time. I'm playing all the time. Even when things are hectic and it's things that would normally have me down before my healing, I'm always up. Right? Now, don't get me wrong. There's times like when them ascension symptoms was coming through, and like I said, I was crying. I'm so grateful, but I was crying. See, I was grateful, but I was feeling it. So there are moments, right? But Spirit is saying the overall energy. And when you have those moments, allow them. Don't judge them. Just allow them and maintain your gratitude. Maintain your faith. Maintain your understanding that this is just a part of the journey. That's it. It's just a part of it. It comes with the territory. But I got this. Why? Because Spirit's got me. And I done got out of the way and I allow it. So nothing but blessings and better, right? Blessings and better. BB. BB. So let's see. Phoenix said, you're so correct. Each one of my children have a different path with their own unique experiences. I've learned the importance of the word okay. Say it and move on. LOL. Yes, it's so true. So true. Pat said, thanks, sis, and thank you all, soul family. I receive all this energy and love. I feel the love vibes. You are so welcome. Pat said, yes, sis, I can relate to that. My sunshine is definitely challenging my beliefs. Yes, and that's what Spirit put them here for, right? That's why they're here, because we're shifting ourselves, right? And sometimes the challenge can be when it comes to parenting these teenagers, right? And when we can master that, it makes me feel good when my mom witnesses me dealing with my teenager and she goes, you are really patient. You are such a great mom. I am so proud of you. Because what I've decided now is not even my son is going to take me out of my peace, right? And he's a human being. And sometimes he may not feel well. I realize that my son, when he's tired, he's like a baby. When babies are tired, what do? They cry. Well, he don't cry, but he gets grumpy, right? And then after, or when he's hungry, like a baby. And then after, he's sweet as can be. Oftentimes, he'll come and apologize. So instead of me feeding on that energy, I understand it and I maintain my peace, right? I maintain staying in that same energy, right? Now, I can be firm. I can let him know I'm not discussing it. It's not open for discussion. I always thank him for sharing his opinion. I appreciate it, but this is my final answer and I am done, right? And that's it. I don't have to yell. I don't have to cuss. I don't have to get irate, because not even my son is worth my peace, right? And now what I'm doing is I'm being an example, right? I'm teaching him a different way. So, yeah. Let's see. Pat said yes. Okay. And Jill said, I've learned a lot recently from all three of my boys. My parenting has shifted over the years into me listening instead of reacting first. They will be stronger men for me listening. Yes. And it teaches them that they're worthy to be heard, right? How great does that feel? You are worthy to be heard. So, and here's the thing. You know how when we talk about how traumas that we experience or painful experiences, how they bless us, right? So initially, the reason why I stepped outside of the norm when it came to parenting my boys was because of the abuse that I endured, not being able to speak my feelings. I couldn't even express how I felt on my face without being severely punished or severely beat, right? So when I became a mom, I made the conscious decision for my children to feel comfortable being heard, to feel comfortable talking to me about any and everything without fear of judgment or repercussions, right? And so that stemmed from the abuse. Now, had I not experienced that, I may have been like everybody else in my parenting, right? Which would not have allowed my children to know that your voice is valuable. And I am not only open to hearing what you have to say, but I choose to hear what you have to say. I feel blessed to hear what you have to say, right? So that puts them in a whole different energy as they're becoming adults, right? So there's that purpose in my pain. That's just one purpose, right? But it served a purpose. And I'm grateful, right? I'm grateful. So let's see. Phoenix said, please don't forget to like and share. Oh, thank you so much, Phoenix. Thank you. My mom said you are a great mother. Thank you, Mom. You are too. I'm blessed. And Jill said, I had to teach myself that I'm worthy of anything. So I definitely choose. I'm canceling and deleting the want for you. I definitely choose to teach them that they're indeed worthy. I am an open book. I'll listen and guide with grace. Yes. And so it is. And so it is. Here's the thing. It's like, as parents, we become a mini government, right? We mimic the government. Have you noticed that? You do what I say, right? Even if it don't feel good to your soul, you do it anyway, right? That's how we become as parents, because I said so, right? I was always big on explaining things to my children. Now, with Asim I could explain it. If it made sense to him, all ease, he'd do it, right? There was never a battle. That was Asim. Very easy. Samaj was the type where you can explain it, but he was going to see for himself. Very different, but both valuable in their own rights, right? He was fearless enough to go after and to see for himself and not just take my word for it. Now, Asim was more analytical in his thinking. He didn't have to do the whole let me go see, right? Because I always taught him a wise man learns from another man's mistake. A fool learns from his own, right? Now, there's some truth and there's some that was an old way of thinking, but Asim was that type where if it made sense, let me just go ahead and do it because it makes sense to me, right? If it doesn't, he gonna sit there and look at you, but he gonna do what he wanted to do anyway, right? So yeah, so there's some, there's some value in how they both were. I remember, this is a funny story, you guys. I wasn't big on spanking my children because, it just wasn't my thing. I just felt like physical punishment, it was so connected to slavery, and I felt there was a better way to raise children. But I remember Samaj's dad was spanking him, and Samaj was like, ow, that hurt. Stop hitting me. And it was like, most times kids just take it. They don't really speak up to say, what the are you doing? Why do you feel like you have the right to put your hands on me? But Samaj he was like, that hurts. Stop. And I was so proud of him. I'm just like, and it wasn't a beating, it was a spanking. And he was just like, stop hitting me. So yeah, children are funny. They're funny. And the blessings I'm learning, they do come. They do come now that we're able to look at them with different eyes. So we have take a break, a life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. Spirit just said it's time for you to relax and release. Relax and release. So we're not even talking about like the treadmill of life, right? We are talking about the treadmill of your brain. So many of us are on that wheel, that hamster wheel. We're just going. Spirit is saying, turn it off. Turn it off. Start practicing being able to turn it off. Because no matter what, if your mind is strong and you are in control of your mind, it doesn't matter what's going on around you. You can still be in peace, right? A lot of people will say, oh, well, I can't meditate because the kids are too loud or because my roommates are this or that. And there's all these reasons, right? And Spirit is saying, that's even more time to meditate. Get in the practice of being able to turn it off, be still, be in your peace no matter what. Because as this world continues to turn, right, the world may or may not align with peace. But as long as you're aligned with peace, you won't even notice, right? You'll notice just enough to do what you came here to do to help shift the collective consciousness, but you won't notice in a way where it affects you or hinders your own peace, right? So Spirit is saying now is the time. It's like my mom, she's been really coming into her gifts, hearing Spirit speak with them accurate messages, right? So Spirit will tell me to ask her certain questions. Now, sometimes I've already received the answer. Sometimes I haven't because I'm like, I ain't even going to ask. I'm just going to ask her like Spirit just said, right? And so I remember the other day, last week, wasn't the other day, it was last week, my mom was at the gym and I asked her and she goes, well, I'm going to wait until I believe she said until I'm done or something. But anyways, right before she says that, Mom, I'm going to tell you why I'm being told to ask you this now. And so anyways, it was funny because exactly what she said was the reason. Spirit was saying it's about you being able to tap in no matter what's going on. Because most of the time, unless we're at home and we're intentional about being in a quiet space, a peaceful environment, right? Most of the time, that's not it. That's not what's happening. So Spirit is training us to be able to connect, to be able to be at peace, to be able to be still, even when everything around us is the opposite of that, right? So Spirit is saying it's time. It's time for us to be able to turn it off. And we do so with practice, just practicing. Just practicing, meditating, Guided meditations are good. Chanting is great. All of those things are great. But if you're doing those things, make sure you're still at least once a day for at least 5 minutes, just totally breathing, not focusing on anything, not saying anything, just totally inhaling through your nose, exhaling out your mouth, slow and deep, right? That'll help you practice that stillness and that taking a break. And Spirit just said, and some of you, it's really about you taking an actual physical break. So listen, I'm manifesting a real vacation in 2021. I believe it was 10 years ago where I said I was taking a vacation, and I haven't yet. So next year, I'm doing it. And the crazy thing is, I've had opportunities, financial opportunities to do it, and I can't tell you why I didn't do it. I can't tell you why I didn't do it. But it's that whole thing of not taking a break. Spirit is also telling me to tell you when you take your break, right? And when you stop and you slow down, as we're on this spiritual journey, it's not like any other journey. Your body must take time to catch up to your spiritual, emotional, and mental growth and development that you're accomplishing. So you may be called to physically slow down. And Spirit is saying, don't look at yourself as lazy. Don't look at yourself as not being productive, because that is a part of your productivity, right? This weekend, I spent 2 days in bed watching Netflix and chilling. I didn't go nowhere. I got up to use the bathroom. I got up to shower. I got up. Sometimes I didn't even make my food. I asked my son to bring me something because I had made some beans, and I asked him to heat up some quinoa and beans for me and bring it to me, right? And that was great. There was a time when I couldn't do that. I would feel like I'm supposed to be doing something. I'm so unproductive. I'm being lazy. No, our bodies are slow. Our bodies are dense. This is quick, right? This is quick. This can shift when we choose it. All that can happen like that. But the more we shift, the more we heal, the more we release, right? Then the physical body has to be able to catch up, relax, rest, right? So Spirit is saying, don't be afraid to take heed to what your body is telling you to do. And for those of you that are running businesses, you're being called to put your entire life, including your business. I heard in the basket and in the ballpark of how you live your spiritual life, right? Because everything, my spirituality is my everything. My entire life is centered around my spirituality. It is who I am, right? So there aren't parts of my life that I pick and choose that's going to align with my spirituality, right? My entire life is aligned because it's me. It's a part of me, right? So Spirit is telling us to get to that point where everything is aligned with who we are as a spiritual being and how we're choosing to live our lives. So let's see what you're saying. Hey, Miss Sean, how are you? How are you? Pat said, that's good, sis. I always say peace is priceless. Yes. So I choose to begin staying in my peace with my son. Exactly. And you know, that used to actually be my very first original website. That used to be on my site, Peace is Priceless, right? That because it's true. You know, and when I first started this work, it was like right after I had, you know, invested all this money into my healing, into schooling. And it was like, when I thought about it at the time, I told y'all, I didn't really have it and I didn't really know how it was going to happen, but I knew that thoughts are things and I knew that I create my reality. So I manifested the heck out of that, right? And when I would look back, I'd be like, I don't even know how I did it. It was because I didn't do it. Spirit did it. All I did was believe and follow what I was told, right? But when I thought about it, I'm like, it's priceless. Like there is no amount of money that I could say would be too much for what I feel today versus what I felt before my healing. It's priceless. Like that's what that means. It is priceless. The person I was before I healed versus the person I am today. How I experienced life before I healed versus how I experience life today. I literally cannot put it into words. I cannot put it into words, but I would do it all over again. I would invest it all over again and then some and some more and some more because it's priceless, right? It's priceless. So it truly is. Peace is priceless. Knowing ourselves is priceless, right? Knowing truth is priceless. Being connected is priceless, right? Being in my power is priceless, right? Had I stayed in lack and fear of what I didn't have or what I wouldn't have by investing in my peace, my healing, right? Then I would never have gotten to where I am today. And now I'm in a position where the fish and the loaves of bread, my basket's never empty. I'm circulating. What I put out comes right back multiplied, right? But it took healing to be there. It took healing to be there. I couldn't do that without the healing, right? So, yeah. Let's see. My mom said my body's telling me to take a nap. I'm tired. What is with us? Cheryl, you were talking about the nap. Y'all, I told you when I did one of these to receive it. Well, it was comfortable too. Let me just do it real quick. That feels good. But you know what I'm going to do after our Empower Hour before I take my shower? I'm just going to lay on this couch and just sit out here for a while. And then I'm going to shower. I'm going to meditate. And I may fall asleep while I'm doing it. But it feels really good out here. It's not too hot today. Pat said, yes, sis, peace is everything. Michonne said at work, just took lunch so I can catch some of the live. I miss you guys. Miss you too. And I'm glad that you are here. I'm glad that you are here. Cheryl said, sending love to you, Michonne. And Michonne said, peace is my priority. And so it is. And so it is. And you know what? I have one more thing to say. And then we're going to get into the mini readings. Angel said, must be a master shift going on. My ears are ringing and sleep sounds so good. I know, right? I know. And so with the ringing, thank you for bringing that back up, because what Spirit is saying is that there is an attempt to speak to you. And this is as a collective. There's an attempt to speak to you. Open yourself to receive. Open yourself to receive. I just recently started working with a soul client one-on-one. And it's so funny because oftentimes when I began to work with people, especially when they're used to being more in their logical self, but their soul is ready to be more in their mystical, magical self, it's always like, when is it going to happen? How is it going to happen? Where is it going to happen? And it's like, Spirit doesn't work like that. Spirit gives you bite-sized chunks. Here's your first step. Spirit waits for you to do it. Spirit gives you the next step, right? And so it's so beautiful when Spirit starts to speak, right? And it's happening. And Spirit's like, point that out, because they don't recognize. Spirit is speaking to you right now, right? But it doesn't always come like the sky opens up and here comes an angel with wings and a horn that says, I have an announcement. Like, no, sometimes it's just subtle. Your soul is always speaking to you. It's just, are you listening? Are you open? And this is why we're called to release the attachment to the outcome, right? In everything, because even that, if I have an expectation of what receiving from Spirit looks like, I'm looking for this particular outcome. Well, I'm missing it when it's happening, right? And that's with all of life, right? If I'm so focused on, you know what, I'm choosing to be a multi-millionaire because the more I have, the more I'm able to give, right? The more I can invest in my business, the more I can serve, right? The more I can reach. But I'm so focused on, I'm going to hit those numbers. That's my focus. And Spirit is like, if you take your focus off of that outcome, you might notice that big old bag of money sitting over there with a note on it that says, for whoever finds it. But you focused over here on that outcome that you're missing, that bag of money, that opportunity, that idea that's going to put you in the position that you're choosing, right? So Spirit is like, our minds can only comprehend so much, but when we just set the intention to be open to receive what we're seeking, Spirit will come in and produce those magical miracles. But it's up to us, right, to get out of the way. Get out of the way. That's our theme. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. I'm choosing to not be in my way. I am choosing to stay out of the way. So let's see. Angel says, Spirit is patient. I'm catching on to it. Yes. And that is always our lesson, is patience. It's patience, because we've gotten so used to, I keep talking about this microwavable society, right? And our soul really knows no boundaries when it comes to time. The way our soul processes time and the way we process time is not the same. It's more like, what are you ready for? That's what determines the swiftness or the slowness of what you receive. What are you ready for? And when you're dwelling on it, being here or not being here, you're saying, I'm not ready, right? I'm not ready. So the test is always there. We're always being tested. And it's up to us if we pass it, when we pass it, how we pass it, right? So there's nothing that is not available to us. There is nothing that is not right here for us. It's just a matter of, are we drawing it or are we repelling it? That it's all us. It's all us. It's all us. That's like, there's this picture and it said, what if I told you that God and the devil stem from the same source? You, right? Now, the whole concept of God and the devil can be used in multiple ways, right? But what it's saying is those high vibrational experiences versus those low vibrational experiences, they don't come from anywhere but you. We are our creator and we are our destroyer solely. Let that sink in. I'm so grateful, because you mean to tell me whatever I'm experiencing, I can either experience more of that if it feels good or stop experiencing it if it don't. And I don't have to depend on nobody else to make it happen, to make a shift. It's all on me. Oh, well, then we got this. Woo, we got this. We in there like swimwear. Let's make it happen, Captain. We got it, right? It's all you. It's all you. Tap into your power. Connect, okay? So let's see. Michonne said, yes, Spirit is very subtle, careful, or grateful. I'm learning, recognizing, learning, and continuing to grow. And so it is. Yes, very subtle, because we're required to be still, right? Be still. So, yeah. Michonne said, I'm still going through ascension symptoms, mainly the exhaustion. Yes, and we were all talking about how we could use a nap, right? So Spirit was like, we all there. And yeah, we're still in that energy of the ascension process with those symptoms. So this is that whole thing, allowing yourself the rest that your body requires, allowing yourself the rest that your body requires. I was just told to tell you, Anitra, take a break. And it's coming through. So this weekend, right? I wasn't really on social media, with my mentorship, Soul Family. It's known that I take 24 to 48 business hours to respond to things, right? It doesn't always take that long. Sometimes it'll take a day, but it doesn't always. And before, on the weekends, I would sometimes respond and be connected. And what Spirit has been telling me is it's important for you to not be connected on those 2 days, right? Because it's like when something gets full, right? It's like it's filling up, and then that rest is a time where it just empties out, right? And now you're able to refill, right? Give of that overflow, right? Release it, and then it's a process, right? And so if you're always connected, giving, you're never really replenishing yourself, right? And so as I'm saying that, Anitra, Spirit literally said, take a break. But it's relating to business, right? And as I'm saying it, it's coming through as a thinking, right? So that just came through for you, more of a thinking break. Take a thinking break and totally be in receptive mode. No thinking right now. Give yourself 2 days of no thinking, no focusing on business, just receive. Because there's some things that are going to come through to you from a receiving standpoint that's going to be really valuable. So Cheryl said, doesn't it say in the Bible, I create the good and the evil? I don't know. And I'm pretty familiar with the Bible, but I don't know. I don't doubt it, but it's true either way. It's true either way. So, yeah. And Anita said, and so it is. Thank you. You are so welcome. And so it is. So listen, you guys, I got a couple of announcements before we go into the mini reads. And again, even if you're not getting one, I recommend you stay on. Spirit still be delivering messages to us as a collective, and they usually resonate for more than just the person that's getting the reading. But there's a couple of things going on. So some of you know that I do the virtual parties, right? So what that looks like is we get together on Zoom, you invite your friends, and we have similar to our Empower Hour, but you can choose the topic. You and your friends can choose the topic. If there's something you'd like to talk about, learn about, we can do that. And then at the end, you and your guests can get a reading, a single question reading, or multiples, right? And so there's a 10-person minimum or 300, right? So basically it's $30 per person to participate, right? You don't have to have 10, but if it's 10, then everybody's doing $30, which is very affordable, right? And then if they like more questions, they can pay for more as we go. Now, if someone in your party books their own party, then you'll receive a free 30-minute virtual face-to-face reading with me, right? So if you're interested in that, where we have a personal kind of like this, but it's your private party, y'all can come in your pajamas, y'all can dress in evening gowns, you can have wine and snacks, whatever you choose, it's your party. And I'll come and do readings, and you can select the topic, and we'll go from there. So that service is available if it's something that you are interested in doing. Originally, this was created because with COVID and everyone isolating, people were getting, stir crazy, missing hanging out. So Spirit was like, do this. And it's been something that I offered before, but I just hadn't been talking about it. A lot of things I offer, you guys don't know because I don't talk about it. And Spirit's like, talk about it. So let me know if you'd like to schedule that, and we'll make that happen. Also, I am still currently enrolling for the Activating You mentorship, both the group and the one-on-one. So if you're interested in that, click the link in the description box and schedule your consultation. I would love to serve you. And our 2020 Activating You retreat got postponed to 2021. And so there are still openings for the retreat. So if you're interested in that, schedule a consultation. Let's get your spot reserved, because it's amazing. You're going to love it. And I would be honored to serve you. This upcoming retreat is all about healing and releasing so that we are able to manifest and create the life that we desire and deserve. And there's some really amazing techniques of manifesting that Spirit has given to me on my journey. That's not something I received out of a book or, out of a class or a course. And so I'm really excited to share those things with you. So, yeah. So Alice said, I love the personal party, definitely for my birthday. Awesome. Awesome. When's your birthday? When's your birthday, Alice? I would love to do that with you and your friends. And yes, birthday parties, bridal showers, girls' night in, you know what I mean? My girlfriends and I, we used to, when I lived in Washington, in Puyallup, we used to have like a once a week where we get together and we have chips and margaritas and Mexican food, and we just sit and have fun, right? But a lot of us aren't able to do that right now, so we can do it virtually and then, you know, get some positive messages and questions answered. Cheryl said, I choose good. Yes, me too. I choose good. January 1st, but the date can be flexible. I'll be 41 this year. Congratulations. Congratulations. You are a part of the 40 Club a year in. So awesome. Yes, yes. Well, let me know, you know, let me know. We can reserve the date for you and make it happen. So yeah. And again, if any one of your guests books their own party, then you would get a free virtual 30-minute face-to-face reading. And there's no limit to the number of questions you can ask just within that 30-minute time period. So I'm looking forward to connecting. Okay. So let's see. Is Shanae on today? Is Shanae on today? Michonne said the party sounds amazing. Yes. So if you are interested, gather 10 people, and it can be more, you know, it can be more. The minimum is just, it's a $300 minimum, right? So if you do 10 people, then it's $30 a person, which can be really affordable to everyone. And of course, again, there can be more, but it's totally up to you and your group. But yeah, y'all can come in PJs. You guys can dress up, like go on, step out on the red carpet. Now, of course, I won't be drinking because I'm going to be serving. But you guys can. And who knows, when the serving's over, I may have a glass of wine with you guys. I just like to stay a clear channel. And I have, it was funny when I first started receiving, right? I was like, I didn't know if I could receive, if I had anything to drink. And I went out to dinner on New Year's Eve a couple of years ago, and I had a couple of margaritas, and then Spirit was just talking, and I'm just like, okay, so I can still receive. I just choose not to do it that way. But yeah, that was a aha, like, oh wow, Spirit still speaks to me, you know? So yeah. Hey, Shanae, there you are. Did you really? Well, look, you are right on time. Yes, Pat, if you're interested, let me know. Let me know. Let's do it. Let's do it. And again, you can pick the topic. You and your guests can pick the topic. You know what I mean? Like it, and it can be like this, like where we do Empower Hour. Or if you'd rather skip this part, you know, like the general or that part, and just go straight into the readings, it's your party. So I'm like, you know, if you have a birthday party for a kid and you hire a clown, I'm the clown. I'm the entertainment, right? I come and provide. But it's your party, so you design it how you choose. We'll connect and we'll talk about it, and it's your party, and I'm just here to serve, right? So there's no limits to what your party can be or look like. So, yeah. Yay, thank you, Cheryl. So, okay, so now we're going to go ahead and get into the mini readings. Thank you guys so much for being on. If this resonated in any way and you haven't liked the video, please do. I see we still have 14 people on with 10 likes, so let's make it mirror each other. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you have not already. So let's see. So here is the Cashapp if you're interested in a mini reading. They are $20 per question, or or $20 per general. Michonne said, not the clown. Yep, the clown. Oh, Pat said, you're the entertainment. I love it. Yes, so yeah. I don't mind being the clown, you know? I love Halloween. It's my favorite holiday. I know it's not really a holiday, but it is to me. Halloween and birthdays are my favorite holidays. Those are the only two I celebrate, really. Halloween and birthdays. So, okay, so Shanae, did you have a question? I couldn't remember, or were you doing a general? Was it a general? Yes, thank you, Cheryl. Thank you so much. Because you know, some weeks I'd be like, my mind is set up. Let's see. I don't know if there's anyone still on with us on Facebook. Someone is on. If you are joining us on Facebook, thank you for being there. Head on over to YouTube, AshworthScott, and join us there if you'd like to participate in the live chat. So Pat said, hey guys, I'm going to have to run, family business to attend to. Please keep me in your prayers, trying to keep the family drama at bay. Cancel trying, you're doing it, you're choosing to. I speak peace over my family and my father's services. Yes, and so it is, and so it is. Mishan said Halloween is my favorite too. I already got my costume. I haven't dressed up in a while, and I was actually thinking, this year I believe I am. Pat said everything will be in divine right order, and so it is. Yes, and yes, Pat, we will continue to send prayers and peace and to you and your family. General. Okay, thank you, Cheryl. Thank you. Mishan said, bye, sis, you're in my prayers. Rio said, can I still get a mini reading? Of course, yes. Okay, so Spirit, what message do you have for Shanae? Okay, so Spirit is telling me to pull a card for you from the Work Your Light. Just one? No, pull two. This is for Shanae. Spirit, what message do you have for Shanae? Right now? Ooh, I like that card. It's pretty. Okay, so you have Minnetonkan, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers, and then you have the age of light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. This card is so beautiful. Okay, so Shanae, what I'm being told to tell you is it's time for you to connect to your power, right? You've been discounting yourself for far too long. Now it's time for you to see yourself as you are, who you are. Your soul is very old, been here since the beginning of time. You may find yourself feeling wiser beyond your years, or you're the wisest one in the room. You may not feel so connected academically. However, when it comes to wisdom, you do possess a lot of it. But what I'm receiving is oftentimes when you're receiving these wise hits, you ignore it. It's one of those things where it's like the wisdom comes through, but then it's like, oh, shoot, why didn't I say that? Or, oh, shoot, I knew that answer, right? The part about I knew that answer is coming through like in school days. But there's times in adult life where it's like, why didn't I say that? Someone else will say it and then they get the accolades. And it's like, Spirit is telling you to trust yourself, trust in your divinity, trust in your wisdom. It's time for you to stop pampering your ego. And what that means is you're feeding into the concept that you are less than who you are, right? This is not being humble. This is actually discounting yourself, is discounting your worth and your value. And because you're seeing yourself in this discounted way, the world is seeing you this way as well. It's time for you to uplift yourself, to connect to your divinity within, to shine your light so that others can feel that shine and they can see you and feel you and know you for who you are. You're often misunderstood. People will hear what you say, but they don't really hear what you say. Hear what you say. Hear what you say. Spirit is saying it's time for you to allow your energy to be felt. It's about releasing fear of greatness, right? What happens when you're great, right? And this happens for many of us. It's coming through as past life experiences is what has you a little bit shook up, right? It's a little bit shook up because that safety, not feeling safe. And I'm just hearing you may not feel safe. You may have these moments where you don't feel safe even in this lifetime. And then I heard, are you afraid of the dark? It's almost like, those kids, and I've been that kid, where you feel like if you're not under the cover, something might get you. Like, if you covered, you're safe, but if you're not, it's coming through like a fear like that. And the reason why it's coming through like that is because Spirit is saying these fears are not realistic, right? Realistic, right? You also have a fear of love is what I'm receiving. And it's time for you to begin focusing on your self-love, because when you can get that down, then you'll be more open to receiving the love that is for you. Love has not always been easy for you, but it's because you're being called to love yourself more. And when you allow yourself to see yourself for who you are, as you are, it becomes easier to love yourself. Also, what I'm being told to tell you is to allow love to gravitate towards you. This isn't just in a romantic sense. This is also in the sense of friendships, right? I'm receiving a really closed off energy, right? Really closed off energy. It's not that you're not nice. It's just that you're not always friendly. right? You're not always friendly. You're a very nice person, very loving person, very giving person, but you're not always friendly because it's like that lack of friendliness puts this wall up and it turns people away. People will look at you as non-approachable. And this is something that's done as a defense mechanism, right? Most often it's unconscious. That whole no new friends, that's kind of a motto for you, right? I'm being told to tell you it's also time for you to embrace your love for the divine. So what Spirit is saying is be more expressive in how you connect to your highest source of power, right? Start speaking on it. Start sharing about it. Not being afraid to stand out or to be different or to be frowned upon. It's very powerful. And as I'm saying that, my throat, the smoke, just now went in my throat, Spirit saying, speak your truth. It's very powerful when you speak your truth, right? Just not being afraid to allow the world to see you, right? I'm hearing you are the Mecca of light. It is time for you to shine. There's so much, I'm hearing dullness and darkness in the lives of those around you, and you are that light. I'm hearing this little light of mine, I want to let it shine, that gets turned on, that helps them to see, right? It helps them to see. And now I'm saying a night light, right? You're that nightlight in the hallway that guides them to the bathroom so they can release. That bathroom is their healing journey. That release is the things that's not serving them. It's time for you to get to work allowing yourself to be you so that they too may shine. Now I'm being told to pull another card for you. Spirit, what message do you have for Shanae? What? Take that one. Okay, so no, pull from the bottom. Can't make it up. Look what you got. Self-love. It's time. It's time. And I'm being told to tell you, adorn yourself in self-love. Like, look at how she's hugging herself. Look at those flowers in her hair. And look, she done did her hair all fancy and stuff. And look what she got on, a sheet. She not going nowhere. She just sitting in her energy, being her beautiful, self-loving self. Why? Because it feels good to her, right? Okay, so look, this is something that Spirit is telling me to say, even though this is your reading. Spirit is saying, how many of you only put perfume on when you're going somewhere? Right? It's coming through like that. Like, I put my perfume on when I'm going somewhere. I put my perfume on after the shower. I'm just getting in bed, and I'm getting in bed by myself. I do that for me. Somebody else happens to take a whiff and they like what they smell. Great. But I do it for me. And that's what Spirit is saying. It's time for you to begin adorning yourself with self-love in ways that you beautify or you expand yourself to please others. Spirit is saying it's time to do that for you, starting with you. You are the example that others learn from on how to treat you, right? And I know this is something that's been said before, something you've heard before, but Spirit is saying it's time for you to now live in that energy, live in that truth, and live in that way of being. You've been failing yourself in the self-love department, right? And it's been justified because those that you do let in, oh, they are all the way in. Those that you do let in, you give them your full self, right? And it feels that way. But in reality, Spirit is saying until you give yourself your full self, others are only getting a fraction of you, or they're getting a false version of you. Because when there's no self-love, what's happening is you're saying yes to things where you feel no, and you're saying no to things when you feel yes. Spirit is saying release the people pleasing. Let you be your top priority. Let pleasing you be the top priority. This is how you are going to shift from your current state to a state of happiness. This is where you'll shift from your current state to a state of peace, right? I just heard it's time. Do it. It's time. And if you are not sure how to start that self-love process, let's work together. The group session will be a great start. The group mentorship, great start. Great start. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know and we'll make it happen. Anything else? Spirit said to tell you to stop being afraid. Stop being afraid to be yourself. Stop being afraid of what the world may think or feel when they truly see you. Also, there's another component of allowing the world to see you. Spirit is saying it's time for you to see you. There's a part of you that has forgotten who you are. It's time for you to remember. So all those things that were coming through about feeling your own energy, right? Connecting to your inner child. These are all great things for you to do. Begin implementing. Also meditating, setting the intention that through your meditating, connecting with your guides, that all of the things that are holding you back, right, that they will be revealed to you so that you can heal them, right? Anything else? They just keep saying, nope, tell her she's got this and you're powerful. You got this and you're powerful. Okay. So that is your message, Shanae. Thank you so much for allowing me to serve you. Please let me know how it resonated. And if it resonated and served you in any way, there's a link in the description box that leads you to the Spiritual Awakening with AshworthScott Life Sculpting Facebook page. Please leave a review there. I would appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So let's see what you guys are saying. Michonne said, gotta run. Lunch is over. So much to do. So little time. Sending love, light, peace, and healing. Ashe. Sending you the same. Ashe. And so it is. And so it is. Shanae said, I used to always say that in school. Did you? And Jill said, yeah. Shanae said, yesterday was such an eye-opener for me. It's just confirmation that I have been healing. It's just confirmation what I've been healing and doing. Yes, and so it is. Alex said, taking those long baths, peppermint really helps me keep the water refreshing in the summer heat. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes, yes. So yes, it's time, it's time, it's time. And you got this, you got this. So that is your message. That is your message. And I thank you again for allowing me to serve you. And Rio, did you send over? Yes, I believe you did. So Rio, you are next. Rio, you are next. Rio, did you have a general question or did you have a general or a question? Shanae, oh, general. Thank you, Rio. Shanae said, I have been embodying self-love heavy for the last 3 weeks and telling people no. I grew up in a Christian family, so it's hard to really follow my heart and what I feel is true and not condemning. Yes, yes, yes. It's what I'm receiving is anything that's new is tough, right? But this is why you're being called to really pay attention to your energy, because the more that you are paying attention to what it feels like in your soul, the more you'll be able to know without doubt what the truth is, right? And when you can know without doubt, whether it's doubt in self or doubt in what you're receiving, that you are speaking truth, living truth, experiencing truth, it becomes easier and easier to share that truth, right? It's that doubt that sometimes makes us stay quiet, right? In addition to that fear some of us may have of being judged or how we are perceived or received or rejected, right? But it's that doubt. And so Spirit is saying that the deeper you go into the truth, the knowledge of the truth, the trusting in the truth, the easier it will become, right? The easier it will become. So awesome. You are so welcome. Thank you. Thank you. So yes, yes, that's amazing, amazing. And start speaking up, with those answers, those messages that you get. Start speaking up. No matter what. No matter what. When Spirit's telling you to, of course, when Spirit's telling you to. So I am disconnecting from Shanae's energy and I am connecting to Rio's energy. And also, let's see. Give me one moment. One moment. Okay, bear with me, you guys. I will be right there. Okay, so, okay. So Spirit said, pull 2 cards for you, Rio, from the Work Your Light deck. Oh, that you guys didn't see that, huh? And then right as it flew out of her, work, come on, girl, work, do your thing. I was saying, you better work. That's what I was hearing. Take that one. And this one, okay. So Spirit is saying, use the cards today. We haven't started with the cards on the minis in a while, right? We haven't. Usually it's just Spirit is just delivering, and then sometimes we pull a card after. So Rio, you have Soul Family. And it says, calling your tribe, you don't have to do it alone. And this is so funny because I've been noticing that your energy has been pretty absent in the group. And so I've just been like, Rio hasn't really been around. Wonder what's going on with Rio. But Spirit is telling you, this is a part of your journey, right? And I often say this, when you invest in the group mentorship, it's not just the time that we have in the group sessions, it's also utilizing the soul family, right? Like there is a purpose in the way the mentorship was designed, right? There is a purpose in that. And so what Spirit is telling you is it's important for you to begin utilizing the resources that you have to help you heal, get over, and recreate the desired outcome, right? The outcome you're choosing. So it's time for you to get reconnected, to start sharing what you're going through, whether it's something that feels like it's high vibe through the roof or whether it's something that feels low vibe through the earth, right? Spirit is saying it's time for you to share and utilizing your soul family. You are not meant to do this alone. You are not here to do this alone, and allow your soul family to show up as that blessing that your soul called for them to be, called for us to be, right? Now you also have deep replenishment, retreat, rest, be held. Again, soon as I read that, what Spirit is saying is your soul family is there to hold you. You know, I really love the way our sister Shamika said when she said standing in the gap. And I've heard that before, but when Shamika said it, it just resonated in a different way, right? And that's what we're here for, to stand in that gap, right? Because if we think in terms of our healing journey and when we're progressing, right, we are growing, but if we aren't maintaining or we aren't doing certain things, that growth that we've accomplished, we can always go back. So we look at it as a gap from where we were, right? And where we are, right? Or where we are and where we're choosing to be. And if we stop at where we are, sometimes that gap can close and we can get stagnant and stuck in where we are. But by allowing those souls that have incarnated to assist us on our journey stand in that gap, while we're resting and replenishing, right, we're then able to take over and continue, right? That's how it's coming through. And Spirit is saying, allow your soul family to assist you as you're elevating, as you're ascending. Also, what I'm hearing is some heavy lifting, right? There's some heavy lifting, but it's coming through as heavy lifting of energy, heavy lifting of energy. Has it happened? Is it happening? Is it gonna happen? It is happening. So you're in an energy where there's a lot of weight that's being released, right? And you may feel it in a not so subtle way. And at times it may be so subtle that you don't feel it, but you are actively releasing, you are actively healing, right? Also, what Spirit is saying is that your voice is to be heard. Your story is valuable. You have so many experiences that you have yet to share or speak that you're being called to speak. Also, it goes back to that getting comfortable with the speaking, right? The getting comfortable with that. So what Spirit is telling me to tell you to do is to begin going live and start sharing your journey, right? Start talking about what you are experiencing, what you are feeling, what you are releasing, and how you're doing it, right? Because also what will happen by you doing that is you will be able to receive even more guidance, right? Even deeper guidance, right? From not just me, but the soul family as a whole. Spirit is just saying it's just time for you to be connected. It's time for you to be connected. You've been on this journey for far too long by yourself. And this is coming through as a spiritual by yourself, right? Not that you haven't had people or bodies around you, but now you've connected to souls that get you, right? And so it's time for you to get out of your comfort zone, which is I'm so used to being alone, even if it doesn't necessarily feel comfortable, but it's comfortable because it's known, right? I know what this is like. So you're being called to break out of the mold of your norm and do something totally different, which is to be vulnerable, open, expressive, right? And through your expression, you're serving. And it's practice. And you also have imagination, inner child. Okay, so as I'm looking at this card, there are two things that are coming through, right? How people perceived you and how you felt. And so as a result of how you were perceived, you moved in action in that perceived version of you. And as a result of that, your actual version of you kind of sat in the corner, in the wings, and just watched, right? And just watched life pass them by, right? And so what Spirit is telling you to do is to merge the two. Get out of the corner, get out of the observing zone, and put yourself in that zone of total merge, total in, total flow, total action, right? Also, allowing your inner child to be the fearless guide that it showed up to be. Your inner child is one of your guides, and your inner child is fearless. Your inner child is already all of the things that you're choosing to be at their core, right? So giving your inner child permission to shine that light. You know, oftentimes we receive that our inner child is attempting to protect us from whatever it's protecting us from, right? Oftentimes our inner child is the person, the version of us that is stuck in fear. But what's coming through with your inner child, it's quite the opposite. Like no matter what your inner child experienced, your inner child is ready to live. Your inner child is ready to be free. Your inner child is ready to express. And so Spirit is saying, allow your inner child to take the lead, right? Release the buttoned up. Release it. Allow your inner child to take the lead. Allow your inner child to run. Allow your inner child to play. And allow that to come out in your energy when you're speaking, in your energy when you're serving, and when you're being, right? I was asking, was there anything else? And I was told, nope, that's it. But tell Rio to go live today. So Rio, go live today in the Soul Family, the Activating You group. Let us know what's been going on. Let us know what you're experiencing and what you're going through. Where are you? Where are you, brother? Let us know. Let us know. Don't overthink it. Allow your inner child to be the one to speak. They say, yep, that's it. Okay. So that is your message, Rio. I thank you so much for allowing me to serve you. And let's see what you've been saying. So let's see. Rio said, LOL, so true. Like we were saying before, I have been feeling the heavy energy a lot and getting stuck and believing I need to do more rather than resting. Well, cancel, delete me, because yes, what you're called to do, what serves your highest good to do, is just be. Allow your body to guide you, right? Again, think about a child when they were sleepy, you know? I mean, I'm not talking about the ones that was fighting to sleep because anything was better than nap time. They thought they were going to miss something. I mean, the babies that when they were sleepy, they just went on to sleep. Samaj was that way. He'd be sleepy and he would literally put himself to bed. I'm going to bed, you know. I was like, what? Because Asim would stay up till the sun came up and then wake up when the sun came up, as if that was possible. That's what it felt like. I was so glad when he was able to make his own oatmeal. Let's see. Rio said, yes, very comfortable for me to be alone since I'm so uncomfortable asking for help. But you know what? You are investing in this program, right? You are investing in this. And it's totally up to you to get your full investment's worth. I recommend it, right? It's only going to help. It's only going to serve. And so I recommend you literally taking advantage of everything. I didn't design the Activating You mentorship. Spirit did. It was designed based on guidance I was receiving from Spirit. So there's literally method to the madness. So having that support of the soul family is so important, so important. And especially, and now I'm hearing Nell, especially when you aren't a person that is naturally one to speak or share, right? Because when we're serving, it requires that. So not only is it serving your soul, but it's preparing you for how you're going to serve those you're called to serve. And it starts with our soul family, right? It starts there, because by you sharing, there's at least one, I'm sure more, that's going to receive something through your experiences, right? So yeah. And it's like you're not receiving alone. It's also you're giving. It's a give and take. It's a natural give and take is what's happening. So yeah. So today, Spirit is saying today, go live. Rio said, thank you so much. Spirit came through with that message. It really resonated. Thank you again. You are so welcome, Rio, and thank you for allowing me to serve you. Thank you. Thank you. So is there anyone else on that's getting a mini reading today? And let's see, I'm going to pull a charm. I don't know if you're still on, Alata. Oh, and look what's here. Did you guys see the little video I did with the tree? So you remember last week, right? We got this charm, right? And first time we got it, it was upright like this. Oops, which the top of that tree looked very similar, but it was the roots. It just so reminded me of this charm we got for our last Empower Hour. And then on my walk, there was our tree. So yeah, it was amazing. So I'm going to pull a charm for us as a collective. I'm going to disconnect from Rio's energy and pull a charm for us as a collective. Who's still on with me? Let me know if you're still on. Comment, por favor. What message do you have for us as a collective, Spirit? Oh, look, you guys. Okay, well, I'm going to show you the side it appeared as first. So we have this side. It's a heart. And then we turn it over and look at the rose. So there is something awesome. Nell, did you hear how your name came through? Spirit was speaking. So there is... Initially, when we got this, you guys, what was coming through was something about the rose that grew from concrete, right? That was coming through. And now I'm hearing concrete jungle. Sometimes it feels really impossible to love, right? And sometimes it feels impossible to love ourselves, right? We get so caught up in what we've been told all of our lives. We get so caught up in what we began to believe about ourselves that we forget how to love ourselves. We also sometimes get caught up in past things that we've done that may not have been, that may have hurt others, right? And we kind of sit there and we kind of waddle in that. And what this heart is representing, what Spirit is saying, is that this heart is representing a hardened heart. Because when we look at it, it's metal. It just looks hard and uninviting. But Spirit wants us to be open, right? That little hook right there, it's an opening and allowing for that love to grow. Think of a rose, that softness of that rose. So that message is coming through again about just being soft, softening our heart, right? And so now not only do we have this heart, but this heart is now growing. It's growing. There's life there, right? There's life there. So I'm being told to say this. It's time for us to do our unconscious mind command, right? Unconscious mind while I'm sleeping, dreaming, and thinking, right? And what the command we're being called to give our unconscious mind right now is release all narratives that are playing within my soul that are not aligned with who I am as a spiritual being. So unconscious mind while I'm sleeping, dreaming, and thinking, release all narrative that is replaying in my soul that is not aligned with who I am as a spiritual being, starting now and continuing until it is released, right? Now, the unconscious mind is very obedient. So as we give it this command, we're going to start releasing. We're going to be releasing until it's done, until we are now playing that narrative that serves our highest good as opposed to what's not. And so it's really funny that this came up because I totally forgot about this. But there's a lot of things I don't remember from the abuse period of my childhood. And there are some things that I have come to know that have occurred that I still don't have full recollection of. And that's because there's no reason. Knowing was enough to heal it and release it and forgive it, right? And so yesterday, I just heard, I was like meditating, and then I heard, you belong to me and no one will ever want you. And I realized that was something that my brother's father said to me. Totally forgot, right? So Spirit revealed that to me because I've shared with you all how on this journey, this twin flame journey that I've been in, like that was like the toughest journey ever, right? It was like that was the toughest part of the things when it was revealed to release certain things. Those were the toughest things to release because it took longer, right? It took longer. Everything else was piece of cake. That took longer. And so Spirit was explaining, now that I've come out of that fear state, right? That fear state of not trusting what Spirit has already said is to be. It's because in my psyche, right, and ingrained in my being, I believe that no one would ever want me. So when you believe that, it's difficult to trust that someone can feel your vibration, can know your soul, and love you, right? And not only love you, but choose you, right? So there's so many things that we don't have conscious awareness of that is dictating and controlling our lives. And it's okay. We don't have to have conscious awareness. But when I say, come on through, Spirit team, and heal all the things that I am consciously and unconsciously aware of, guess what it does? It starts to heal those things. It reveals those things. So when we do the unconscious command, that's powerful too. Calling your Spirit team as well. But doing that unconscious command will allow things to be brought up to the surface so that you are aware and you can begin that healing. So yeah, Spirit was telling me to share that with you. Let's see. Shamika says, still on, Cheryl still here, Nell still here. Alice said, flash, rainstorm, and rainbow as you pulled the charm. Yes, that's so awesome. So awesome. Because you know what? That rainbow, when we think of Noah and that story, and you know how the rainbow was the promise, right? And so what Spirit is telling us, the promise is, right? Not only do we deserve rainbows and are we able to have them, but we're able to have those rainbows with the pot of gold at the end, right? And that gold is that happiness, that peace, that balance, right? That confidence, that connection, that love, that wealth, right? So those friendships, that sincere connection. And before we were talking about the connection with the divine, but those sincere connections that feel good to our soul, right? So that's beautiful. Thank you. Nell said, I did, LOL. Okay, so we still waiting. You've been getting that message to go live too now. So there's a few more people that joined us too. Is there anyone else on that's going to be getting a reading today? If so, let me know, por favor. Today is my youngest sister's anniversary. 3 years. I believe they've been married for 3 years now. Yep, 3 years. Okay. So Spirit is telling me to pull a card as I wait. And then if there's not anyone on that would like a mini read at this point, after I pull these cards, then we will end our Empower Hour today. So if you are on and you're on the fence or you're thinking about it, last call. That reminds me when I used to go out and they call last call, you know, you go and get 2 drinks. Okay, Spirit, what message do you have for us? That one? Okay. Ooh, I just love when Spirit comes through with a message. Okay, but I'm going to read from the book, from this first one and the second one. I'm being told to do from both. For both. So First of all, we got the yes card. It says, just say yes. Just say yes. You're being called. You're being aligned. Just say yes, right? You've been on the fence. Just say yes, right? You've been telling yourself no about the things that serve your husband. Just say yes, right? You've been doubting your connection. Just say yes. You've been rejecting your healing. Just say yes. The next phase, just say yes. Anitra has that yes life, you guys. Say yes. So let's see. What is the message in the book? What message is here from the yes card? Okay, look, you guys. I can't make this up. Let me just show you. Look. Can you see that? That's the message from the book. That's the message from the book. Whatever you desire, guess what your answer is? Can you do it? When spirit guides you, does it serve your highest good? Is it time to release all that's no longer serving you? That was easy. That was funny. So we also got patience. Patience. And this is our lesson, you guys. We've been getting this as a lesson for how long? I know it's been my life lesson. And I'm so grateful because, you know, I'm actually in the energy. I'm in the energy of it. I'm patient now. Whoa, I can actually say I'm patient. I am. It's weird because I'm like, I'm hearing it's been a long time coming, but a change gonna come, right? That song's playing. There's another song for our playlist. It's been a long time coming, but a change is gonna come. And now I'm hearing the problems born by the river. Okay. The part about being too afraid to die. And as that's coming through, what Spirit is telling us, in order for us to be reborn again, we must release the fear of death, right? We must release the fear of death, right? And in order for us to be born again and to have a new life, we must allow that old version of us to die. And it's coming through. Like, think about when a family member transcends, a loved one transcends, right? You still have all the memories, right? So Spirit is saying to hold on to those positive memories of who you are. Let those stay with you, but let the rest die. Let it die. Take nothing with you but the lessons and the blessings. And it was reminding me of Tina when she said, I just want my name. That's it. Just my name, right? Take with you just your name, and your name is divine. Your name is blessed. Your name is peace. Your name is love, right? So anything else coming for us? Spirit is saying, get grounded in your existence, right? Get grounded in your existence. It's also about you understanding that you are existing in parallel universes, right? Your soul is here and your soul is there. So oftentimes we're impatient because we're used to being there. And Spirit is saying, if we have not become acclimated with who we are as human beings, it's time for us to do so. It's time for us to combine the two versions of us, right? The two versions of us. Spirit is also reminding us, as above, so below, right? As above, so below. And this is coming through in a different way. It's as above, whatever can be created in the cosmos, or whatever can be created with those divine beings that are floating around in the ethers, can be created here, because everything that is in existence there is within us, right? So we bring all that magic into this physical form, and Spirit is saying, just utilize it. And I don't know why I'm hearing it saying, we all float down here, Georgie. What does that mean? We all float down here, Georgie. Are you just being funny because of the red balloon, or are you really giving us a message? Spirit said both. Okay, so what's the message? Oh, okay, that's awesome. So what I'm receiving is, what that is saying to us is this: when we talk about that heavy weight, right? That heavy weight. Spirit is saying, when you release the weight, you have the ability to float. You have the ability to ascend, to excel, right? To rise above. However, if we notice how she's holding the balloon, Spirit is saying, even when you are in your power, some of us, and it was me, I'm some of us, we're super connected here and super in tune here, that we kind of disconnect from the earthly version of us, and then it's not balanced, right? So what Spirit is saying is the more you grow and develop and the more you connect with your soul self, it's about still being grounded here in this 3D realm and being able to merge the two so that you can create beauty, heaven here on earth, right? I'm so grateful I learned that lesson. Thanks to Jillian. You guys don't know Jillian. Her link's in the description. She's the shaman on our team, and she's amazing, and she's a part of my maintenance. And that was something that was a healing for me, was to be able to merge the two, right? I loved it up there. What you mean I got to be more grounded down here? And now that I see why that's so important, right? I see why it's so important. So Spirit is telling us it's time for us to know that we are able to float. We are able to rise. We're able to excel, but it's important to still be grounded here in this realm as well, because we've got work to do here, right? That I'm hearing home is always waiting for us, right? It's always waiting for us. It's always waiting for us. Even that, as that's coming through, what Spirit is saying is that, you know, when we think in terms of fearing death, where do we learn that from, right? Who taught us that? Maybe the same people that told us that there's a possibility of going to hell and burning in a lake of fire that's thousands of times hotter than any fire ever, right? So now we have this fear of death and we're living in fear, manifesting more things to fear, right? As opposed to knowing that our soul just transcends, and then it does what it's doing. It either serves from there, it comes back and serves from here, right? We learn lessons and we create blessings, and that's just that, the simple version of it, right? I just asked, was there anything else? Spirit said, no, that's it. So let's see what you all are saying. Rio said, LL, yes. Alice is clapping. Cheryl said, love it. Alice said, that's my favorite book. Cheryl said, does living in parallel universe mean we're actually living other lives in other dimensions at the same time? For some of us, it does. For some of us, it does. You know, not all of us, but for some of us, it does. Yeah, it does. And what Spirit is also saying is that even if we aren't necessarily living a whole nother life in a parallel universe, everything that we have chosen for ourselves. Now, as that's coming through, what Spirit is saying is that time is relative, right? It's relative. So existing and living in a parallel universe, and we think in terms of timing of it all, it may not be that I am here and I am there. You know what I mean? It may not be like Get Out, where was that Get Out? The Tethered. What was that? The Tethered. I don't remember. You guys remember that movie? Where they lived below and they lived above, right? Another version of them. What Spirit is saying is it may not necessarily be in that way, because time is relative, but there is a parallel universe where we are existing, we are thriving, and all the things that we're choosing to create are already there. It's just about us bringing it here, right? Bringing it here. And what I'm receiving also, it's more of an energy, right? It's more of an energetic. So it's not like this body in the flesh, right? It's more of an energy of existing and living in a parallel universe. So, and see how that works? There's no questions we cannot have the answers to, because Spirit will feed us with truth and information. It's beautiful. And we are all capable of that. We are. We're all capable of it. So tap in. Tap in. Even though I believe she said tap out, but we tapping in. So yeah, that's a great question. Great question. So it doesn't look like anybody else is on getting a mini read. So we are going to go ahead and wrap up our Empower Hour. I'm going to lay here for a minute and meditate. I'm going to eat the other half of my burger. I discovered today that Hardee's has a really amazing vegan burger. And I took this test that said, for me, eating, I believe it was 2,400 calories a day. And I'm like, whoa, that's a lot. A lot. And I didn't have an opportunity to make nothing. So I ate half the burger and I'm going to finish it. And I'm usually not even a fan of Beyond Burger, right? But theirs is really good. So, yep. And Samaj had his first day at work today. My bonus dad took him for me because we were doing Empower Hour. So I'm so grateful that whenever Samaj calls, he will take him wherever he asks for him to take him. So yeah. Oh, Oh, Alice said, before you go, what was the punchline for your joke for Natalie? I never got the answer. Oh, so what do baby witches, what do you find in a baby witch's diaper? Voodoo. Oh, I'm corny. Oh, wait, but okay, that one's kind of inappropriate. Okay, it's fine. I'm inappropriate. I'm transparent. You guys, I really am inappropriate. So I'm going to tell you this one. And I couldn't really do it. And this isn't an original. The baby witch one, I made that one up. But this one I saw on TikTok. But I laughed so hard. If there's kids on, they maybe having them tune out. But what did Cinderella say when she got to the ball? Does anybody know? That's what Cinderella said when she got to the ball. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So anyways, I guess if they ask us, is this channel for children? I believe I said no. So anyways, yeah. So that's what she said. Cinderella said that, not me. Just Cinderella. Oh. Alice said the big laugh over here. Oh, and you know what? I saw Natalie on IG where she did her own gel nails and they look amazing. When you said it's the big laugh over here for me, what made me laugh is because when during that live somebody said it's the nails for me, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is so funny, because there, the nail shops still aren't open. So they looked really good. I'm sure she's gonna go live or do something on her channel for them to be seen. But yeah, they were cute. She did a good job. Have a blessed day, Rio. Thank you for joining. So thank you all so much for joining. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. If this resonated, share the video, and also join us next week. Join us next week for Empower Hour, 10:30 a.m. Pacific, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. And if you're interested in that virtual party, connect with me. Let's make it happen. Let's go ahead and get you on the list, okay? So I thank you again, and I'll leave you with peace, love, bliss, and abundance. I'll talk to you soon. Cheryl said I never would have guessed that one. Well, see, that one I didn't make up. I saw it on IG. I mean, on, I was about to say Twitter. I have all these platforms mixed up. I saw it on TikTok, and I thought it was the funniest thing ever. I was like, now that's hilarious. So, yeah, we're all grown-ups, and it was funny to me. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Thank you, Alice. Thank you, Anitra. And thank you so much, Cheryl, for keeping me reminded and just your energy. I appreciate you all. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.